how do you see it about building sports environments and cultures, and from a psychology perspective,
Yeah.
or youth,
Yes.
or even starting with Warrington Wolves? How do you fix that, Rob?
Wow, that is a big question. That's a series of podcasts by itself, not just one podcast. But I think the thing for me, and as you get like slightly more and more senior, as you go along, and you get the meetings change, don't they, in terms of what meetings you're invited to and what meetings you're in. And I think for me, there's a lot of talk and not so much action a lot of the time. And there's what I call as well, this just pure on my terminology, it didn't exist, I don't think, but like website culture, where you click on most websites of any organization, wherever you go, even if you just focus on the public sector and charities or whatever, and they will say, these are our core beliefs. We believe that every child matters, or we believe that this and this and this, and nobody should ever be left alone with this, and all that sort of thing. That's very easy to do. You can build a website. I can't, but people can build a website in a day or two, and you can put those things on, and that's easy to write.
Yes.
To do. And when I first used to see those sort of things, I get caught up in it and be like, that sounds amazing. This place sounds amazing. But the more experience I've had, and the more organisations I've worked for, you start thinking, okay, I need to see behind the curtain there a little bit. Are they actually doing this?
Yeah.
Or is it just something that makes it look good on the website? And we touched on this before in terms of you get leaders who will say the right thing and give the speech and come up with the values, and they'll have meetings for hours to design these values, and then they'll get a consultant in, and they'll send the feedback about the values to the consultant. The consultant will come back in 3 months' time with a suggestion for what the value should be, and then you go back to your staff and say, these are the values now. Right, okay, but it's this the day-to-day, minute-by-minute stuff that makes a by far bigger difference to cultures for me. There's no point having you could have the best write up about what your organisation stands for in the world. If you don't do it, it means nothing. Yeah. And people see that very quickly as well. I think they'll. So you come into a meeting, you think this should be a really high energized meeting. We're talking about why we exist. We're talking about our values and our core values. But you look around the room and people's eyes are rolling, and they're not really into it. Especially the people who've been there a while. You can notice, they're a newbie, they're excited. But you know, the people who've been there for years and years and years, their eyes are rolling in the back of their head a little bit, because they kind of know it's not really what we actually do.
Yeah.
And then the first time that leader gives a speech, people might be leaning forward and getting excited. But if the second time they give that speech, in the gap between, if they've not been living up to that speech, then I've not listened to that speech really. And then the third time, just completely switched off and so on. So yeah, it's definitely a case of what are you actually doing, not what you said you're doing. I think that's the biggest thing for